Hello, let's continue with pricing for call center definitions. We can perform the relevant operation from the Pricing tab under the Call Center menu. On the relevant page, we can create common contracts for both the Call Center menu and the pricing on the online booking page. On the page that opens, there are 3 tabs: Contract, Period, and Actions. At the bottom, there is an option to select a season. Let's define a new contract. S24 International Season Market Matching has an S24 CIS contract. Let's define the S24 European contract as an example. We open our form with the plus button on the top right corner of the page. After selecting the hotel, let's name the contract by typing €6 in the name field. I continue by selecting Euro from the currency option. Season Market Matching Season 2024. International sales start 01/01/2024. Sales end 30/11/2024. Accommodation start date 01/05/2024. Accommodation end date 30/11/2024. You can continue by specifying whether the exchange rate should be on the entry day, sales day, or daily rate from this field. We continue with the entry day rate. I continue by selecting room from the department selection. I continue by selecting the all-inclusive one from the board section. We can also use the allotment quota within the quota. There is also a mail control button here. If you wish, you can check mail control as per company procedures. In the same way, there is also a passive option here. We can register our form by selecting the agencies for which the relevant contract is valid from the Agencies tab at the top. Since we will enter the prices on the call center and online booking page on this screen, I continue by selecting them. I register the form by selecting WebRes in the call center. After the S24 Europe contract is defined, while the relevant row is selected, click on the Period tab at the top. On the page that opens, we can now create our prices with the plus button at the top right of the page. Accommodation start date is 19/08/2024. Accommodation end date is 30/9/2024. We want to create a price based on shooting or accommodation. I continue by choosing the accommodation-based one. I continue by selecting room from the department selection. Since we have written a product price accommodation type for family at the bottom, our price here will now be the product price. So I wrote €200. If I type €100 for standard, the system will automatically create the price according to the multiplier rates in accommodation types. Let's add our period with the Add button. For the other period, let's open our form in the same way with the plus button on the top right corner of the page. If we wish, we can copy the contract here with the Copy Contract button. When I click on the plus button, the form starts 01/10/2024. Our previous form accommodation end date was 30/09/2024. The newly opened form is 1/10/2024, so it follows it. The end of the accommodation is 30/11/2024. Let's enter 2 periods. Again, I chose based on accommodation. I chose the department room. Family is now 180, and the standard's down to 80. After entering the prices here, we need to proceed with the Tab button to save the rows. Then click on the Add button to enter our period. After creating the prices, we can edit, copy or delete them with the pencil button on the right side. After creating the prices, if we want to enter any discount, kickback, action, we can go to the Actions tab and enter the discount from the form opened with the plus button on the top right corner of the page. For example, let's define a discount of 130. If I check the checkbox here, it is valid for all room types. On the right side, the sales start date is 19/08/2024 and the end date is 30/11/2024. Let it start on 19/08/2024 as accommodation, end on 30/11/2024. On the right side, when asked whether you want to enter accommodation-based or attraction-based discounts from the action type options, we continue by selecting the accommodation-based one. If I choose the calculation type, combined or gradual, if I choose combined, it will add up the cluster-based discounts and reduce them in a single way. I can define discounts from countries if I wish from the country selection at the bottom. If I do not select the countries here, it will apply discounts for the selected countries in the contract. Since we will enter a percentage discount, I can save the form by typing the discount rate when percentage is selected. I can save the form by selecting SPO from kickback or EB or SPO or net price action options on the right side. If I want to enter a day action, I can save the form by typing how many days it is suitable for here. Let's write 30 instead of 300. Let's enter our SPO with the Save button. After entering the action, we can update it if we wish or make it inactive if we right-click.